This new ban for people under the age of 16 from social media was first released last Thursday, and now within a week it's Australian law. The result of such a rushed process is that there hasn't been due consultation with youth experts, with industry, with a range of different groups that have raised concerns about the unintended consequences. And as a result, there are still so many unanswered questions.
Sunita, what do you think are the unintended consequences?
There are a range. There are the technical questions, the community, and also the broad range of companies that are in scope of this law are in the dark around exactly what technology is required in order to verify age. While there was an amendment to the law to not compel the use of government ID or identification documents, it's still unclear what the government's preferred method of age assurance is. This law is somewhat cart before horse because it's been passed before the conclusion of the government's own age assurance trial that's designed to find the answer to that question.
Is it not the case, though, Sunita, that these big social media companies, Meta and the like, they're already experimenting and researching the use of those sorts of technologies?
They are indeed researching and using these sorts of technologies to better understand the age of users so that they can provide age-appropriate services for younger users. What's important to know with this law is that it captures a much broader range of services because the definition in the law is websites that have interaction between two or more end users. So what we're talking about here is product review forums, consumer forums, anywhere where people can post content. That means that Australians using those services will need to get used to providing more personal information in order for those services to understand their age.
Haven't some of the social media companies brought this upon themselves by not being vigorous enough and not taking heed to numerous warnings, to numerous amounts of concern from right around the world about some of the content on their platforms?
Certainly the focus needs to be on online safety, and at Digi that's where we believe the investment and the focus needs to lie. We need to ensure that the sector's online safety work continues, that it never stops, and that we've got strong, robust online safety laws that keep pace with technology and encourage that work. Across the mainstream sector, there is a range of work that occurs in order to keep young people safe. There are teams and technology to rapidly remove content. It's a bit like an IT department. You only see what happens when it goes wrong, and certainly people who have had a bad experience are right to think that this work needs to continue, and certainly that's where we believe the focus should lie.
Meta, in a statement, I mean, none of these big social media companies have been prepared to come on camera and talk to us about this. We appreciate you coming on. Meta, in their statement, say there is a lack of evidence underpinning the legislation in terms of damage, mental health damage, social damage to children. Do you concur with that? Because there are those that would say there is an abundance of evidence that social media platforms can harm the young mind.
Certainly there are examples of harm, and then there are examples of benefit. There's no silver bullet solution when it comes to complex issues like mental health. What we have seen is that a coalition of mental health organisations have written to Prime Minister Albanese expressing their concerns that this could cause isolation for young people, particularly disadvantaged young people like those in remote areas, Indigenous youth, LGBTQI youth, where these forums are quite a central source of their community. We've also heard from Reach Out, who have said that 73% of young people actually access mental health support through social media.
The bottom line is that, Sunita, it passed through Parliament, so we're on the next step now. There's a year to implement it. What sort of things do you think should be at the forefront of getting the plans in place? There's already a fine suggested for those that don't comply. I mean, what do you think should be the priorities in the next 6 months?
The priority should be consultation. When you have a law that's released and passed within a week with only 24 hours for people to provide submissions, you don't get the opportunity to get the details right. And what we need to ensure is there is robust consultation with the wide range of youth experts, commissioners, industry, mental health organisations who've all come out this week and expressed concerns about the unintended consequences.